I want you to audit your last email or your last meeting. How many times did you say phrases like, I think, maybe, or in my opinion? If you're a student, that's fine. But if you're a professional, those words are weak. They kill your authority. Today, we aren't just learning synonyms, we're learning the spectrum of certainty. I'm going to teach you exactly how to sound objective, data-driven, and confident. Here's the trap. Most non-native speakers use I think as a default filler word. You use it when you're unsure, but you also use it when you know you're right. The problem? The listener doesn't know the difference. If you say I think before a fact, you make that fact sound like a guess. You signal that you're unprepared or nervous, even when you aren't. And frankly speaking, the stakes are higher now than they were 5 years ago. We're living in the era of AI hallucinations, social media rumors, and political spin. Being overly polite about facts is dangerous. It lets the noise win. In 2026, your value as a professional isn't just knowing English. It's your ability to assertively distinguish between what is proven and what is just noise. Precision is your best defense. So, before we get to the vocabulary, you need to visualize your information like this. On the left, you have beliefs, feelings, and guesses. This is low quality. On the right, you have hard data, evidence, and verification. This is high quality. Your goal is to never mix these up. Never use left side language for right side data. This brings us to the golden rule of professional communication. Match your language to your evidence. If you have limited data, you must sound cautious. That builds trust. But if you have verified facts, you must sound conclusive. That builds authority. Let's look at the 3 levels of verbs you need to master to do this. Level 1 is when you have an idea, but no proof. Stop saying I guess or maybe it's true. Use the verb speculate. We can only speculate on the result until the report arrives. This sounds professional. It says, I don't know yet, but I'm thinking about it intelligently. You can also use words like hypothesize if you're in science or tech, estimate for numbers, or suspect if you think something is wrong. Level 2 is the most common zone in business. You have some numbers, you see a trend, but you aren't 100% sure. Stop saying it looks like. Use the verb indicate. Early numbers indicate a strong preference for the new design. This is powerful. You aren't saying it's a fact, but you are saying the evidence points that way. You can also use suggest, imply, or appear. Level 3. This is when you have the receipts. You have the proof. Do not weaken this moment by saying, I think. Use the verb substantiate or the adjective conclusive. The investigation provided conclusive evidence of the error. The data substantiates our decision. This shuts down the argument. It says, this is not an opinion, this is reality. We also have words like confirm or validate that have the same meaning. Now, I've put together a cheat sheet for you here, so you can screenshot this. If you're in a meeting and you don't have the data, just be honest. Use level 1. I can only assume at this stage. If you have the final report, use level 3. This report validates our theory. Using the right verb tells your boss exactly how much they should trust what you're saying. Finally, let's look at how this applies to those annoying business buzzwords you hear all the time. When a boss asks you to be assertive, they aren't asking you to be loud. They're asking you to stand firm on your level 3 evidence. When they ask you to be transparent, they aren't asking you to be weak. They're asking you to admit when you're at level 1. And granular? That just means providing the specific details required to move an idea from level 2, a guess, to level 3, a fact. So stop using I think as a crutch. If you have the evidence, make it known and speak frankly. If you don't know, if you're not sure, then say it as well. We live in strange times. It's important to be very clear about what you know and what you don't know. All right. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.